Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Joining me, as always, are my co-hosts from the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks podcast, Rebellious D and Double OT Terrific Trav. How you guys doing today?
Say it loud, say it proud, baby. I love that.
Ready to rock.
Hey, I am ready to rock too. And joining us on today's episode is professional voice actor, a very awesome person. You've heard this man in so many things. Like one of my favorite animes, My Hero Academia, and that is Belsheber Rusape. How you doing today, Bel?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much, my fellas, for having me. Glasses gang.
Glasses gang.
Glasses gang. Let's get it.
It is always going to be a fun time when everybody has glasses on. I mean, like, we can have fun times.
I know, right?
You know, where everybody doesn't have glasses, but you know, it's not too often that everybody has glasses up here on Level Up.
Right?
So, yeah, Bel, thank you so much for joining us. And before we get into today's interview, everybody that's watching, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. D, I'm passing the ball to you.
Got it. Make sure that you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for watching. Podcast in the description. Get on it.
And Trav, your tip of the day.
Hey, that's right. Hey, if you're gonna rock that polo, make sure you leave the top button undone like my man Bell does. And let's go.
Right.
Okay. So look, right.
Okay.
Whenever I wear my polo shirts, I don't know if you guys remember, like in the '80s movies where you had like the '80s bully, and he would have like the collar pointed up. Like, yeah, that's how I wear my polos.
Like the Fonz?
Yeah, exactly. And like,
And
my tag partner, Diamond Victor Griff, whenever he sees me do this, he's just like, "You're just trying to get attention, and I'm not going to feed into it." I'm just like, bro, like I'm trying to bring the 80s.
He already fed into it right there.
You already
got him.
Sounds like Griff.
Sounds like Griff. So Bel, not before, but we are here at the interview now. One of the first questions that I always ask all of our guests is, what is your origin story? Every hero or villain has one. So tell everybody who you are.
all righty then. Thank you very much, Benjamin. Thank you for having me, by the way.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, so to start things off, keeping it pretty simple, I was born in Zimbabwe, and my family moved over here to the States when I was a really, really young baby. And so I've lived most of my life essentially in the States, specifically in Texas over here. And I was interested in voiceover when I was in middle school, because that's when I, became familiar with the idea of what voiceover technically was. And so I grew this obsession over looking at voice actors, finding different voices, just like hearing voice demos left, right, front, center, which in turn kind of helped me in becoming a demo reel writer, which is pretty much one of my main professions nowadays. And so as time went on, when I turned 18, that's where I decided to finally pursue voice acting. And from there, 6 years of grand adventures left, right. The rest is pretty much.
All right, hey. You went to the Grand Line as me.
Yeah, that's right, Trav. That one piece is pretty sweet. Look at Banks.
It's like, because Bel, I seen that you've done work on One Piece, and I'm a JoJo guy, and like these guys know it, like all of our listeners and viewers know it, and I feel like this is the first time that I'm in a handicap match against 3 people. It's just like everybody here is Team One Piece, and I'm here by myself. Easy.
Look, that's the problem with making these wars up in your head, Banks.
Ain't
nobody out to get
I've seen him tossing and turning that night.
He's sweating over there, Trav. But we're not coming after you. We're a team.
No.
Trav might come after you, but I'm not.
Only in his dreams.
But Bel, like, I think that's awesome. Like, thank you for sharing your origin story with us. Like you said, you've been doing this for 6 years now, and to see the stuff that you've done, like I had mentioned at the start of this interview, you were a part of season 5 of My Hero Academia, and I just want to go ahead and start with that. Like, how was it being on that anime? I feel like My Hero Academia is one of my favorite animes that's out right now currently. Like, tell us about it.
Oh my god, My Hero. Oh my god, I love My Hero so much. I got into the series like as a viewer, just specifying. Okay, as a viewer, I got into a series. I think it came around when I was like early into college. Oh wow, it's been a long time since My Hero came out. But the premise, just like all around, I loved everything about My Hero so much. Jesus Christ. And so when it came to professionally speaking, getting into My Hero, I got in because Colleen Clickenbeard, the ADR director of My Hero, called me in to do some extras. I got to do some extras in an episode that was a few episodes previous from the one I got to record for. And so she ended up giving me the opportunity of auditioning for My Hero. And I didn't book any of the characters that were up for audition at the time, but I was grateful that I got the experience to work with Colleen at all, because I ended up getting auto-cast as the character Ending in My Hero Academia, who, by the way, he's a character who's canonically in the manga. So
that is true. That is
so,
true.
Like I looked into him, so I was like, yes, he canonically exists in the story, and he serves a great purpose in the narrative because his character ties into Endeavor. And spoilers, gonna
it's all season
without
6 is
spoiling anything. Without spoiling anything for anyone who hasn't gotten there yet, Ending's character ties into Endeavor's development and his past, as well as his future development in the story. But even though he appears in one episode, well, briefly at the end of the episode prior as like, a teaser.
Yeah.
But ultimately, one episode, sort of. He's a one episode antagonist. But overall, his character really does show a lot of importance in the story. And I loved playing him so much. Oh my God, I watched the episode before I even got cast. So I had a feeling I knew exactly who I was going to go for when Colleen cast me for the character. So one thing I love doing when I do get cast for a project is looking into the material that is presented. Like, if there is an episode of the character before, if the episode when the character appears is already up in the Japanese version, I always have to look into that because I want to know, okay, what did they sound like in the Japanese version? What can I do to add to this character? Because I've been cast as a few characters who don't necessarily sound how I do. It's like my voice is a little on the higher side, so I tend to kind of fill in the range that you'd expect of the character, not what they actually sound in Japanese. It's low-key a translation thing and more of like a directorial sort of improvisation when you think about it, because there are some characters who are on the younger side, but they sound deeper in the Japanese version. I had an instance of that before. Yeah. And Ending was one of the few instances where I felt comfortable playing an adult character, because I usually get cast as like teenagers and young adults. So playing a character who was ambiguously much older.
Right.
I just got to, go wild with my natural range. It was so much fun. And this was actually the first time I got to really play a major antagonist character like Ending. So it was like so much to really think about. And when I was working with Colleen, we were just workshopping ways of really articulating each line and each scene, because there's a lot of context when it comes to anime characters. Even if it's just for a brief moment, there's a lot of context that goes into every single line, single scene, every single point this character is trying to make, because at the end of the day, our job is to make them still sound like people, not just characters. Like, they are a character ultimately, but they still have wants, goals, personalities, backstories, and whatever ultimately makes them more three-dimensional than what you'd normally really think about.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you on that, and I think that it's awesome.
That's good.
What?
No, you agree.
Oh, but anyway. But no, I was gonna say that I agree that it's. See, Trav, you made me lose my train of thought. D, go ahead.
Well, let me
go ahead, D. Go ahead, D. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So being able to play a major antagonist, where you said it's one of the few times you felt comfortable doing it because of the age of the character, correct?
Yeah, because it allowed me to just go wild on my natural voice without thinking about it. Because sometimes the biggest obstacle for me is thinking about the age and then trying to play it according to the age. But because it's like I have this
trying to stay with
because it's like sometimes I try to play an older character and I sound younger as a result, and it's like it's an obstacle. But like when you don't care, when you can just do your natural
be free,
voice, you can just be
just
free.
Like anything else. That's pretty sweet though. And congratulations on the role. It's pretty sweet. So
thank you.
I look forward to seeing you. Thanks. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready now. So I was gonna ask because you mentioned voicing the character and sounding like a kid and sounding like an adult when you do it. Like how do you look at characters that are kids that sound like adults? Like for example, in JoJo Part 5, I don't know if you've seen it, but Giorno, right? And
you mean which one was it?
That's Golden Wind.
Golden Wind.
Okay, so Giorno is 15 years old, right? But when you watch the dub and when you watch it sub, like he sounds like a grown man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how do you feel about stuff like that? Like, do you think that it would be easier to, have somebody, sound like a child doing that role? Or do you think that it's just like whoever is the right person for that role should just get that role?
I think it depends on a lot of factors, and ultimately one of them is most likely the tone of the story that's going on, because keep in mind, in the world of JoJo, it's not just the fact that most teenagers sound like adults, it's the fact that most teenagers look like adults too in the world of JoJo. So it's like they don't, in the world of JoJo, you don't really care about that sort of aspect. It's just kind of going nuts with the world. Like the only character I can say who legit looks and sounds relatively younger, like most likely their age is like Naracha in Golden Wind, because it's like they do manage to get him to sound relatively young and like compared to the other characters, and like that kind of ties into his personality though, because you often associate a character who's very lighthearted and very energetic with a higher range voice,
right?
Like Naracha, and so characters are relatively serious in comparison to him. So it's like, I don't know, there's a lot of factors that really go into it, and it also depends on the director, say the Japanese version. It's like, that's a lot of things. But JoJo is one of those franchises where you wouldn't care. You would not care at all if they sounded like teenagers.
I feel like it depends too. I don't know if the casting matches up with the art style. Sometimes has a lot to do with like, look, you talk about JoJo, but a lot of those characters are kind of big. Like you said, they look like adults, but you have other shows like Naruto is just an example, and then you have stuff like One Piece where people look a little like it's the art style, not necessarily how they look and stuff or what age they are. So it's interesting that you bring that up, actually.
Yeah, that is true, because there are a lot of franchises, and this is a big one, because there are a lot of franchises out there in which a male character is often voiced by a woman in the Japanese version, and depending on what the English dub company does, they might end up either getting an actor who sounds Japanese version, or they'll most likely just cast a man to play the character, because it's like in English you most likely want to hear a guy voicing another guy in the English version, but it ultimately like kind of depends on what the studios are going for.
Correct.
And just like the ultimate intent of
because
what the English version sounds like.
You had someone like Linda Young playing.
Bro, I was about to bring up Linda Young.
Yeah, and it's just but she. Yeah, but she sounds the
that
part.
Frieza coming to get you right now.
Hey, you mentioned Linda Young. She can't. Yeah, I am assuming that D was about to go on the lines of. Okay, yeah, that's cool. When Linda Young auditioned for the role of Frieza, she had told us that like the audition role, it was in the newspaper, like that's how it was back in the 90s.
Wow.
Yeah. Like can you imagine, because I mean like you're a voice actor in today's world, can you imagine like saying, okay, well let me see what roles I can get, open up the newspaper, like I'll circle this, I want to do that. But what you was just saying about how some directors, they want the characters to sound like sound similar to how they sound in Japan. But back then, you know, you went in for the audition, she got the role, and then later on, because they wanted to have Frieza voiced by a male, because he was voiced by a male in the Japanese version, you know, they changed it up. But yeah, I just know when I was younger, like watching certain animes, you just be like, well, why is it a woman voicing a guy, or, you know, vice versa? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a lot of...
Oh, no, you can continue.
Okay. I was going to say, there's a lot of anime tropes, though, when it comes to that sort of thing. Like, a lot of teenage boys are voiced by women, you know, in the genre. Like, as far as American dubbing goes, there's kind of like a format that they tend to follow, like you were talking about, Belle, where depending on how the character is how they go about choosing, I guess, a voice actor for it.
It's just an interesting topic now that we open up this can of worms, because it does make you wonder. I mean, it maybe it's just what they end up being comfortable with at the end of the day, like the Linda Young situation, because she was phenomenal as Frieza, you know. And she did it for a long time. But it was like, it looked and sounded appropriate. Like when you watch and listen to Frieza, it was just iconic. So yeah. But I guess when you got the voice, you got the, you know, when they pick you, they pick
the voice.
Yeah, it's like, it's ultimately what the director says.
Correct.
At the end of the day, and
for sure,
it's like the director and the client, because there's a Japanese client at the end of the day too. So it's like ultimately what they approve of as well.
Well, how involved are they when like Funimation gets those licensing rights, or whoever? But let's just say Funimation, since we're talking about DBZ. What sort of input does like Toei have? Can they say, no, we don't like that, and Funimation has to change it? Or there's really no say so, right? As far as Toei's concerned,
there might be actually.
I guess Toei animation does have more say than we're really thinking, but ultimately, I do believe that English dub directors do want to continue taking more chances on what kind of actors that they do bring along, because there has been a greater push for newer talent getting more opportunities in the industry. And I do like that. It's like, there are people in the studios that are trying to get more new blood into it, so that we're not using the same 10, 20, generous here, 30 people that you often hear in like literally everything.
Right.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you on that. Trav, are you gonna interrupt me again?
No, I'm just.
Oh, easy.
I'm glad that you're not 95% agreeing. That's all I'm saying.
we have a guest in the room.
hey, D over there, like Dr. Claw, pet cat, right? But Belle, I wanted to piggyback off of something that you had said about, like, you know, this rising of, you know, new and fresh voice actors coming in the industry, especially with you being a person of color. I feel like over the last couple of years, like, you've seen like more people of color, you know, make names for themselves in the voice acting game. So I just want to ask you, like, how does it feel to be one of those people? And, you know, what are some of the goals that you have in mind, like other animes and stuff that you want to tack your name onto?
Oh my God. I did not expect that my involvement in the industry would be anywhere near as big as people make it out to be. Like, it's something I'm still trying to really wrap my head around, but ultimately it's one of the most refreshing feelings I've ever had. Like, it feels good, because back in the day, I was kind of worried about my chances of getting into anime, mostly because of my skin, but another factor being my name, because it obviously has like more, you know, foreign ethnic roots tied to it. Because I've heard instances of actors like, say, Christina V, who she had to kind of change her name a bit to, you know, so people wouldn't, you know, kind of like tie that back to her or something. It's like, I've heard instances where actors kind of had to like hold themselves back from presenting a bit more ethnically to really get more work. So it's like, it's something I always kind of felt was a concern that might have happened in the back of my head, but I'm really glad I never got to actually experience that myself, because the directors,
haters gonna hate.
Exactly. Yeah, haters are always gonna hate. There's always gonna be haters in the industry, like in and out of the industry, but ultimately you have to keep succeeding. You have to keep moving forward. Like, your success is not hinged on other people who keep trying to dog on you. Like,
exactly.
You have to keep moving up. You have to keep moving up on your own, because you're ultimately going to be your biggest supporter.
Yep, that's for sure. And luckily, you know, times are changing, and you see people of color in general, you know, regardless, you know, yellow, green, black, blue, doesn't matter. People are starting to get way more opportunities now. And it's wonderful to see, you know, because we get to see and talk to a lot of you all in the voice acting community. So,
And just to piggyback off of what you were saying, not only are you seeing more people of color get these opportunities in the voice acting community, but you're also seeing more people of color in animation, which is something that we really didn't see a lot of growing up, because, you know, people still consider Piccolo black. You know what I'm saying? Because on Dragon Ball Z, we didn't really have any black characters. So, you know, it's cool to, you know, see animes like Naruto or Tiger and Bunny season 2 is about to come out. And, you know, you see characters up there that actually look like us. And, you know, they don't look like how they were drawn back in the 80s. Like, one of the characters that I really love the development that they've had over the years is Cyborg 007, I believe. It's either
I think he's 7, 8.
Yes, 7.
I think he's either 7 or 8. I think it's 7. I think you're right.
Yeah, 7. And like, you see how, you know, when he was first originally drawn, he was a black caricature, but now like he just looks like a normal black person. And you know, I just love the fact that when it comes to anime, that characters, you can see the representation in anime.
Like studios are actually being very conscious about the fact that there are black people who exist. There are black people in Japan who exist too, and that
exactly,
you can't make that mistake anymore and get away with it. Like, it's something that you have to actually put in the effort of studying and learning to actually incorporate into your work. Because another one of my personal favorite instances is Shaman King. One of the main characters is this guy named
you're talking about the guy with the cat. He's got the cheetah.
Yeah,
doesn't he have a cheetah with him?
I can't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
So in the Japanese version, his name was, and I kid you not, Chocolove.
Yes, yeah.
But in the 4Kids dub, ever since the 4Kids dub, like a lot of us in America, even in the English version of the manga too, they refer to him as Jocko, which that's what I refer to him as. That's what everyone I know refers to.
Call me Choco Love.
I'm never, and like back when he first got portrayed, like, oh my god, he had like those
big
lips. We know.
Yeah,
he had the DBZ lips. You know what I'm talking about, man. Back.
It's like the black face, the picture lips in the manga, but they thankfully kind of toned that down by changing the color of the lips, but it was still there. I liked his character, but it's like it was still it's that one thing. That one thing that ruins it. But then in the new Shaman King adaptation, they fixed that. They fixed that. They gave him normal lips. They make him look like every other character. Like when I first saw that, that's what made me worry. Like with this new adaptation of Shaman King, I was like, oh my god, this is the one that is like, this will make or break the internet if you don't handle it carefully. And they did it. They changed it, and he looks amazing. It was like it shows like
people are paying attention.
Yeah, and it's okay. It's okay to acknowledge that you can look up what people different races look like in real life, or just like consult people like this in real life and be like, let's avoid
question for you, Belle. Do you think, I mean, we can pass around, but I want to start with you. You're the guest. Do you think it was just a perception thing from Japanese back then? Because if you think about when some of that stuff was drawn initially, Do you think it was just the exposure? There was no internet back then, is what I'm getting at. And they had very limited exposure to. A lot of them probably hadn't been out of Japan, for all we know. So, do you think that's why they were just shooting?
You know, I do think it's like a historical thing where there wasn't much there wasn't much exposure to Black culture and Black people in general, especially in a recluse area as Japan back in the day. And it's like, it's not okay now. It's like you can still look back at that and be like, oh, that was really gross.
It was horrible.
But it's like, I understand in certain instances, like, if there was like historically no way that they knew at the time, it was how do you say it? It was for the time. Yeah, it was essentially like a piece for the time.
Yeah.
But what is that called? A period piece or something like that, right?
Yeah, essentially. It was like it was for its time, it was normal, but
yeah, very stereotypical.
Yeah.
We look back at it and be like, it's okay to understand, call out the racism that you see in the in any anime and stuff like that, but also let's also be more conscious and understand when there's a tan character and understand that's not the same thing as being actually dark skin.
Right.
Yeah.
I've seen some people people get uppity on that.
Yeah,
Balrog.
It's something controversial going on right now where I think the anime is called like My Dress Up something.
Oh, My Dress Up Darling, where so Marin Kitagawa, a character she wanted to cosplay it, and she acknowledges it's a tan, by the way. She explicitly says it's a tan. She has tanned skin. Yeah. It's like, I mean, you can still be uncomfortable. You can be uncomfortable about it if you want to. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that still acknowledge what it actually is, because if it's okay to acknowledge the difference between a tan and blackface, because blackface is much more.
Hold on, are you saying she painted her skin tone a different color
so she could cosplay?
No, I don't want to crucify anybody, but there's no need to go that extra step for anybody. Like that's doing way too much, dude.
Yeah, there's a point.
That's not cool. I'm not crapping on her because I don't know her or him.
It's an anime, Trav, so you can talk about it.
No, the person who caught. I thought we were talking about a cosplayer that cosplayed.
No. It's an anime character who got backlash.
So there's cosplaying in the show.
Yeah, the character herself is a cosplayer.
Okay.
The show is all about cosplay, like the entire core of
I'm
the story.
still confused on what's controversial then.
Okay, so look, right? So
ultimately, a lot of people got upset. A lot of people got upset because
the girl tans in the show.
Well, it's because like they're saying that like it's considered blackface, and it's just like
they're saying she tanned like she went to a tanning booth, or
she tanned her skin. So that way she could be darker, so she could cosplay a character.
People are taking this stuff too serious.
Was the cosplayer that she was cosplaying?
You mean it was a character?
African American?
Yeah.
No. Like she actually explicitly says the character has tan skin.
See, I don't watch the anime. I
think people are taking that a little too serious.
There are times where it's like the controversy does kind of get out of hand.
Yeah, it's a cartoon.
I'm so confused on what the problem is.
I get the sentiment, but it's like, you have to understand what actual examples of blackface look like in media before you actually start tackling that. Because one of the best examples I can think of that a lot of people are still uncomfortable about, and I don't blame anyone for this, is like Mr. Popo from Dragon Ball. I don't know how to address that one though.
I knew he was about to say that. He was just Mr. Popo.
Well, I mean, like you have to actually like look into it, but he's based off of it's like an Indian god or something like that. And,
wait, is it like the Jinn? Or
the Jinn, yes.
Okay. I didn't know. But of course.
Okay, because like I thought, because for example, because when I look at Mr. Popo, he kind of goes under the same scrutiny as the Pokemon Jinx.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's like because Jinx's first concept design was like black skin,
Yeah.
luscious pink lips, and it was like,
Luscious
I get the
pink
controversy.
lips.
I get the controversy,
Luscious.
but it's like, let's not go too far on it. Because now, to be fair though, another Pokemon I remember. It's one of the. It was actually in Sun and Moon, I believe, where. Let's not go into it. It's like there's a lot of controversy in the Pokemon
Hey, we
anime.
can move along. Hey, we can move along.
Yeah, let's move along. There are
me,
articles dedicated to the controversies in Pokemon, like the Porygon.
Oh, hey, you already. I mean,
Porygon.
like if you grew up going to church, you know the pastors they was always against Pokemon, saying
Always.
devil, Alakazam. Like, man, I remember my pastor. She preached a sermon one time on Pokemon,
Jesus
and
Christ.
I was just sitting there the entire time, and I was just like, man, I just got Pokemon Stadium. And it's like I hope
hell?
Because I mean, like I've told the story up here before, Belle, where it's like my aunt, she saw my Shonen Jump, and it had Yugi up there, and he had the Millennium Puzzle necklace on, and she was just like, "That's the Illuminati." Like I'm not allowing you to.
People were terrible back then, dude.
Oh my god! Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, see, we got a lot of crap. I mean, it did, but Yu-Gi-Oh! I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Got it the worst, though. Let's be real here.
Just imagine they would have went haywire if they had seen the actual show. Everybody was getting possessed, and
no,
and then Bandit Keith with the gun.
That's just the English dub version of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, I know. They would have.
The Japanese version is hardcore.
I mean, you had Tristan's over. I can't remember Tristan's name in the Japanese version, but
it's like Joe or something.
Making nasty passes about Joey's sister. You know, just nasty, inappropriate comments. You know about.
Yugi didn't care. That show was. They toned it down when we got it.
It's crazy because like in the 4Kids version. It's like you would have like people just holding their hands out saying,
pointing.
It's like,
what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Like,
Tristan used to be like running from them, and I'm like, what's he running from? Like, big deal. They pointed at him.
He running for his life. It's like the hip-hop song running. But hey, you know, Belle, me and D, we've been asking a lot of questions, and you know, Trav's drinking his water right now. But Trav, I want to pass the ball to you. Go ahead, bro.
You ready to go?
I wanted to double piggyback to the beginning of this thing and go to this origin where you had mentioned that a lot of work you're doing now is writing demo reels.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we all know what a demo reel is, as far as it's a reel that people put together to kind of show off their range and work and different character voices they can do. What does that mean, though, that you're writing demo reels? Like, what all goes into that?
Well, it was a foreign concept back in the day, but ultimately it's just taking the range of the actor, you know, the passions behind the actor, and ultimately the tropes, characters, and archetypes that an actor can fall into with their range. Kind of just like working around all that stuff to ultimately make several characters that they can record for to fill in the space of the demo reel. Yeah, because the demo reel has to be like usually around 1 minute and 5 seconds, and you know, is like the usual minimum that you should have.
And are you actually writing, come on guys, let's do it? And all
basically I write all that. Like, it's like I write them in a way where it's like I try to break the tropes and just, kind of like build something off of it instead of just because I've been listening to demo reels since I was in middle school, and I was like, you notice a lot of tropes that repeat ad nauseum with a lot of demo reels, and it's like, dude, if I'm gonna strut my range, I don't want to sound like generic character 1254. I want to sound like how I want to play this character, because a good actor can take whatever dialogue you're given and make it sound hella believable. Like, it has to sound very good, and I want to give someone dialogue that sounds like it's something that comes straight from a video game or an animation, just like something that it feels like you're working with an actual project instead of just like a stock template line that you could be reading from anyone you could have easily found on the internet. Like, I don't want people to just like go to a demo reel, go make a demo reel, and it just like sounds like everyone else's demo reel.
Yeah. Right. And I mean, I guess the piggyback is kind of like how you were saying earlier in the interview, when you're voicing these characters, it's like you're not voicing the character as, who they are. You're voicing the character as yourself, and like you're bringing yourself into this character. And I think that that's really cool, that when you go into the concept of, it's like, this is how I think that the character should sound. This is how the character should be. Like, the character needs to sound like they're a real person and not something that I'm just reading the script from. So I think that that's really cool that you do that, man. Now, I wanted to also ask too, when it comes to that, like, how do you prepare yourself so that way that you get into that mindset, so that way it doesn't feel like you're just reading from a script?
There's a lot that really goes into that. Well, for starters, I do vocal warm-ups, tongue twisters, just to make sure I sound well articulated, because the point of voice acting is that you have to sound like people can hear you. That's the number one rule. And well, another thing to really take into consideration is you have to also read whatever notes you get on a character. Like, sometimes you get annotations, or the director kind of spoon feeds you any context. Context is key for any scene because if you read a line but you have no context, there are a million ways you can find. But with context and an understanding of the language you're speaking, as well as the emotion that might be placed on it, because you've most likely felt that emotion before, you have to understand that it has to be a direct way of really going about it. And if I could give anyone a free tip, one thing I try to work on with myself is don't speak too fast all the time. Do not speak too fast all the time. Don't read too fast. That is a common mistake a lot of us make when we start out, because we think via the anime way of acting is talk really, really, really fast, like Speed Racer. Oh my god! No, that's not the case. Like I've had instances where I've spoken way faster than the lip flaps, by the way. So it's an instance of understanding it's okay to slow down. It's okay to slow down, pace yourself, and just get a good footing for what the word placement, how you want to say something, how this could be said, a lot of things that need to be really thought about when it comes to speaking as a person, not just as a character, but ultimately as a person. Just make it sound believable, because there is a way of speaking a lot of people can connect with, that if you hit those dots, it makes for a much more connected performance with a lot of people.
Nice. So, now I wanted to, kind of take it back, and I want to know, how was it during your first voice acting gig? Like,
wait, depends. By first voice acting gig, like first voice acting gig ever, or first anime gig?
Like first anime gig.
Okay. In that case, woo boy. Okay. Oh wait, shit! This actually has a bit of layers on this one. So
hey, we got all the time. Hey, we got 3 hours, man. So
we love what's that beefy 5 layer from Taco Bell?
Hey. Okay. Bit of context here. So my first ever ADR experience was, I'd like to say 2018. I did a bit of extra voiceover for the anime Hanebado, which is a badminton anime, by the way. And that was my first time stepping into a studio, which I'm so nervous as hell. Oh my God. But as far as first major character booked role, last year. It was last year when I booked Horimiya as Kakeru Sengoku. And thank God, months prior to that, I was taking ADR workshops with Jason Lord. I had some guest teachers on there, my friend Griffin Poatu, as well as the illustrious J. Michael Tatum, who had taught me the ropes about ADR. Oh my God, I was so lucky because they were teaching how to do ADR from home. And I recorded all of Horimiya from home. And I was like, oh my God, I feel so much more at ease voicing this character from the comfort of my own home booth versus going to a studio every single week to record my character because, oh my God, I got a little... I got used to recording in a studio because of a previous studio that went defunct a while ago. But overall, recording from home, oh yeah, I'm taking that all the way. Like recording for Sengoku just felt so natural for me. Like it was a matter of getting used to ADR becoming a regular thing for me. Right. But the only obstacle I'd say, it was because recording for Sengoku, I was doing that during my final semester of college. Mm-hmm. So it was like time management overall.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But overall, the performance, like that was absolutely so much fun. It was just like learning how to connect with the character while matching the lip syncing, because that was the biggest obstacle when it comes to transitioning from usually creating the character to working off of the original material to make a character in a different experience, like basically for an English experience. It was a whole new ball game because I got to really experience Sengoku in a whole other light, and it was so much fun because I love Sengoku so much. Episode 7 onward, that's what ultimately made me fall in love with playing the guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to make sure I check that out then.
Oh yeah,
sure. Hey, our homegirl Danny Chambers was in it. So
yeah, oh my God, Danny Chambers. Oh my God, I think she's one of like the main girls who straight up like helps change the game of anime dubbing forever. Because like folks like her, Zeno Robinson, I think benefited the most like getting work from Funimation because the moment he booked Hawks, dude's career was flying.
He's an Owl House now. Like he's actually
like, he puts a lot of Disney work
cartoons,
too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hey, and we still sliding in the DMs. Yeah, like,
hey, that's what's up, bro.
Still sliding.
Gotta get him.
It's the same thing like with you, Belle. I mean, we just interviewed Amanda C. Miller, and like she was somebody who I have reached out to back when we first started the podcast. And one thing I always say is that, sometimes you have to be patient because you had finally reached back out to me, and I was just like, "Yo, we finally got him." Sometimes you just gotta wait. You gotta be patient. You can't give up. Sometimes you gotta keep on sliding in the DM. Sometimes you gotta keep on bugging. But not too much bugging though. But
yeah.
But D, I wanted to pass the ball to you.
My turn? Here we go. All right, so Belle, growing up, did you have any voice actors that you looked up to? Or anybody, who would you say you would watch and try to emulate? Were there certain characters on TV and stuff coming up? I mean, sometimes we get the answers from a lot of our guests. I just wanted to go ahead and ask.
There are a lot of actors that I could say were definitely huge inspirations for me. A few include Johnny Young Bosch, who, oh my God, when I found out that I was working with him on Horimiya, my soul, my heart fluttered like 1,000 times because he is my absolute favorite anime voice actor.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God. Others include Steve Bloom, who, by the way, I got cast for a project a few years ago where the voice reference was being a younger version of Steve Bloom, basically.
That's
so
cool.
that kind of makes
cool.
that really made my experience on that one. So Johnny Young Bosch, Steve Bloom, Crispin Freeman, Greg Ayers, Chris Ayers, rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Oh God, his performance as Frieza, that changed my life forever. Like, because that was one of the most natural performances I had ever heard in anything. And you would not know that Dragon Ball Z was an anime if you had heard Chris Ayers playing Frieza. That was so well articulated and just natural. Like, and he had a natural, like, higher range voice that just, because I used to be really insecure about my voice growing up. So it was like hearing actors with really distinct vocal ranges, especially higher distinct vocal ranges, like the Ayers brothers, as well as actors like Richard Stephen Horvitz, for example. It's like actors with unique, higher ranges are a huge inspiration because I just really always wanted to like own having a higher range voice and just like getting to go wild and like sound really, really sick. Like it was just, I just absolutely love that. Like I love seeing actors with higher range voices just winning. It's just
hell yeah,
my favorite things ever.
For sure. I mean, you named some of the best in the biz, you know, legends. Some of best in the biz. Trav, did you want to piggyback? I mean, I know you know what model Mike that is. You know, you want. I didn't know if this was one of those episodes. Hey, this man right here, he knows.
No, I didn't get it. I didn't see an opening for me to come in earlier when you was talking about the studio. When you was talking about the studio stuff, but I do want to go back to it because do you not feel like when you get to go to those studios, it's like recording from home's cool, but there's been a few times where I've got to session at studios and record like other rappers or bands or whatever, and it's just a different vibe and like a studio corner. There's just something special about it. You could feel the vibe. Like when you go into those studios, you don't kind of feel that versus sitting at home and you know your little comfort bubble versus going out to the studio and now it's like a bigger deal kind of thing. It feels bigger.
Well, I guess it's just a me thing, but I am way more of an introvert than I let anyone know. So it's like, I don't mind having a lot of me time, like essentially work, then just proceed on to my day, you know? But it's like, I do get what you mean. Yeah, right. Trav, like you're totally right. It's like going into the studio, it provides an experience of actually meeting, talking, and just, you know, getting to vibe with a lot of the people in the studios. Because I've had instances like that before, and it's always a lot of fun just getting to really talk to people face to face and you know just getting to really
work out the kinks.
Damn right.
But overall, I appreciate the fact that studios have given me the opportunity of working from home because ultimately they are prioritizing our safety. They're pretty much, a lot of studios, Funimation especially, has been very adamant about like encouraging actors, if they're able to, you can work from home. And I've always been open to that possibility, just work from home as much as possible because I know where the new Funimation building is, and that is way too far.
It's also gorgeous in there.
So I've heard, yeah, but is it worth going like an hour or so there?
It's like, nah. It's like, Belle, you just want to wake up, put your slippers on, and then go right to the booth.
You know, I don't know what you listen to, Belle, or anything like that, but there's a video online that you can watch where Timberland's from our area, and he used to have a studio in Norfolk. He doesn't have that studio anymore. But he had Jay-Z down in the studio, and he was playing him beats, and, you know, he played him the Dirt Off the Shoulder beat, and they was vibing in the studio. And, you know, Timberland sold that studio to a local couple down here in Norfolk. And I got to go to that studio one time and be in that room. And it's probably all in my head, but I'm just like, yo, Timberland and Jay-Z was in the studio, bro, and I'm in this studio, you know what I mean?
Trav, that's the nostalgia. Yeah, man. That ain't in your head. That really happened.
It's fair. It's fair. Like I treasure that. I do treasure those like live like appearances, like whenever those happen. But it's like, but it's like ultimately, I'm not opposed to just, you know, working from home and then just like calling it a day because that's always been how I've worked. Like in the 6 years I've worked in voiceover, I've always worked remotely, and so it's like, you know, the few instances where I've gotten the heads of, you know, the attention of studio execs, it's like, do I want to spend a lot of time and money having to, you know, go all the way there? Right. Or can I just save the trip, get the check, and still keep the experience ultimately over here? Because it's like, I understand there is worth to, you know, going to the studio, but like ultimately, the biggest disadvantage, and a lot of people who work remotely can attest to this, is that depending on the work you're getting, it also spells out having to go somewhere else to, do that work. Because one thing I don't think I am going to do anytime soon is traveling to LA just to record for a few hours, then go back. Most likely spend more money getting there and going back than I'm getting for the session. And it's like, oh my God, was that even worth it? Like, I could have just done this from home. It's just...
Yeah, with them gas prices.
Them gas prices,
sending out the funny limousine to come get you is what you said.
Exactly. It's like, if they're not investing, then I'm not really going, It's like, it's not worth it. It's not worth that much.
Nah, not with the gas prices.
Yeah.
It's not.
Oh my God.
It's like, unless I live right next door to the studio, or like I can...
Is it a walking distance? Maybe a bike?
Nah, he says like
I can do that. Well,
you
can
can always
Uber.
my trip. But nah, I mean, that might be expensive too. Now, Belle, I wanted to ask you, like, what are some of your hobbies that you're into when you're not voice acting?
Oh my God. Well, one of my favorite things is, if I'm not the one doing the voice acting, I just like looking for new voice actors in general. Just kind of like listening to different voice demos, kind of like hearing around, follow new people to listen to, new people to kind of like tip off about opportunities here and there. What? Who said that? But anyway, but like ultimately, one of my favorite pastimes is getting to really engage with other voice actors. But at the same time, I'm a huge gamer. I love video games. I recently got the new Kirby and the Forgotten Land game.
Yeah, I heard that's a good game.
Oh my God, it's so good. I am a Kirby fanboy, and it has been a long time since I got to play Kirby. Oh my God, I'm
just happy they gave him a game.
Yes, in an open world game.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of surprised. I wasn't sure how it would handle having Kirby become inanimate objects during the game. But it works. It works super well. That's all I'm gonna say so far, because I'm still relatively new to the game, but I'm having a lot of fun. And outside of voice acting, oh my God, I love drawing. I am an artist at heart. I went to college to pursue art. I am an alumni at UNT. I have a bachelor's degree in interdisciplinary art and design studies. And if you're not hearing me in voice acting, you're most likely seeing me do drawing or designing banners for other voice actors. Because if you see my social media, oh my God, I love posting banners. I love designing banners. I love design work. I especially love character design work whenever I get the chance. That takes a lot of time, but it is worth it. I love learning new techniques, learning how to create characters, just kind of dabbling, experimenting on my creative juices. The coloring parts are one of my favorite. One of my favorite things is definitely coloring a character in. Oh my God, there is so much that really goes into designing a character, and like I'm still learning new things. But overall, where I am right now as an artist, way better than where I was several years back. Just saying. Oh my God. My favorite thing drawing characters that I've designed is like looking back and seeing, how did I compare the first time around? How did I compare the second time around? How did I compare 2017 versus 2018 or 2019 or 2020 or 2021 22? You know what I'm saying?
You constantly leveling up. And I'm surprised, I'm surprised you didn't say the line when he said he was an artist.
Yeah, I'm something of an artist myself.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I'm okay, man. I've always dabbled, just kind of doodle. Whenever I get time, I just kind of sit, doodle, and sometimes it'll pull you in for an hour and two, but that's the beauty of it, man. It just takes you somewhere else.
Amen. Amen, my dude. Yeah. Oh my God, like, bruh, I got into design convention banners at some point.
Jeez,
like,
nice.
I feel like,
sweet.
Oh my God, like, I got into design banners for Brittany Lauda, her husband Matt Shipman. I've gotten to design banners for Tyler Walker, who's one of like the head like ADR writers at Funimation.
Jeez.
As well as Brandon Winkler, who is a phenomenal voice actor, by the way. Oh my God. I love designing banners so much. You'll see a lot of my banners like all throughout Twitter, but if you see any that I've designed, printed out in conventions. You've most likely seen them pretty much like pimping me out on social media.
We're gonna be checking you out.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? You just mentioned Brandon Winkler, and this is the second time that I've heard his name this week.
Yep.
Yeah,
for real?
Yeah, and the reason why is that at my job, I was telling some of my coworkers that I have a podcast and whatnot, and we interview voice actors and whatnot, and I was telling the girl that we've interviewed some of the people from Finna Pirate Princess, and she was just like, oh, for real? Like, yeah, one of my friends, like, he was up there, and I was just like, oh, for real? And he was just like, yeah, his name is Brandon Winkler, like, he's from Chesapeake, Virginia. I was just like, for real? He's from Virginia? Like, so yeah, I mean, hey, it's a small world out there. And then now you just met Brandon, and that means that we got to slide in the DMs and we got to get him up here, because it's like I can't keep on hearing his name and not have him up here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks.
And where's he from, Banks?
Hey, Trav, he from out there where you are, man, out there in the woods. I mean, out there in the woods. Somebody from Chesapeake made it, and I'm happy.
8 Mile.
A Sinbad said, "Ain't none out there but trees," and I mean, he won't lie about that. But Bell, I wanted to ask you, when you said that you're a huge Kirby fan, are you one of those type of people that plays as Kirby in Smash, inhales somebody, and then jumps off of the stage to kill him?
I think everybody does that with Kirby.
I've never done that.
It's literally, if you're playing competitively and you're up a life, it's no brainer. Literally, you get them off the level. There's nothing they can do about it.
I don't play Smash as much. Funny enough, I actually got Smash Bros. Ultimate recently, like when I got the new Kirby game. So if I get to play that, oh my god, I'll see. But
won't be looking for you. Don't worry.
Oh man, I don't think I've ever played Kirby in Smash before. That's thing. But oh my god, my introduction to Kirby was the TV show, which, first of all,
right back at you.
Yeah, there we go. And as far as the games, my first Kirby game was Superstar Ultra.
Okay.
Oh my god, I was a huge DS kid, so it was like, bruh, I don't know why, it was like the aesthetic of Kirby just appealed to me. Like,
it was
I really
cool,
loved,
right? Like, yeah. I think, and this is showing my age, but I had the original Game Boy. I'm not that old, just and I had the first Kirby game. It was Kirby's Dream Land, and just like how you said, Belle, it's just like just being able to. Oh my god! I was just thinking somebody's gonna hit me with a "that's what she said" because of what Kirby does, but just being able to inhale things. There we go. Being able to inhale things and then absorb their powers and whatnot. I always thought that was cool. And then when Kirby 64 came out, and you could actually make combinations of the things that you absorbed, I just thought it was really cool. And it's cool that Kirby is getting his spotlight again by getting his first open world game. And I envy all of you guys that have Switches, because it's like, I want to Switch. And it's just like, I told them that I still had a Wii U, and they asked me if they could have my Wii U, and I was just like, I'll give you my Wii U if you give me your Switch. Like, now, do you think that they was gonna give me their Switch? It's just like, why would you ask me for my Wii U for free and not give me a Switch? Right? I think that's equivalent exchange, right? That's what they did on Full Metal.
Right? Definitely not an
equivalent. How'd that work? No, how'd that work out for him in Full Metal though?
Yeah, I don't 100% agree with it.
How did that work out in the show?
Oh, no, it never works out.
No, it didn't. It never.
So
they have kids in their basement.
Hey, there's a rapper goes by the name Gmo Ski. He's out there in California, out there in Oakland, and all of his music videos, he notoriously smashes GameCubes. Like, he's a big time gamer too, and every music video he smashes a GameCube.
Why? Such a beautiful system.
It's just his thing.
So disrespectful.
I wish you hadn't
I
mentioned
understand
this clown.
Xbox.
I know, right? Xbox.
GameCube.
But
There's probably only 70 of them running around.
Yeah, like, can I order one? I'd like a GameCube, please, because GameCube. Oh, that was an awakening. That's an awakening for gamers. Like, bruh, have you ever
Fire
played
Emblem? That was one of the first times I actually sat and just played it a lot. That's where I got Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil 4, the WWE Day of Reckoning game.
Yeah, I hated
Smash Brothers.
Bruh, have you ever played the Pokemon Coliseum games?
I always wanted to play that. Like,
Death to Coliseum and XD Gales of Darkness.
Yep.
That made me just like, dude, this is what Pokemon should look like in 3D. Yep. And like, oh my God, when my brothers and we got our Wii, like I had to get Battle Revolution at that time. And I was like, this game was for the Wii around like the early 2010s, like before 2010, and this game looks better than most of the modern Pokemon games.
Yep. So
like,
these guys running around smashing GameCube.
Yeah.
He has nothing better to do.
Look, my problem with GameCube is that obviously first party Nintendo games were awesome. It's just that if it was a game available for PlayStation and Xbox, as well as the GameCube version was always the worst version. And it
it was the same thing on the Wii too.
Like no.
Y'all,
it was always like
on
that
the game.
Some games on the Wii.
Some games, but it wasn't like that always on the Wii.
Yeah, well, not every game on a multi-platform is gonna suck in every single version of one.
But that was kind of like Nintendo branching out to other. It seemed like they were just picking up other titles at that point because Nintendo games will always be like the Mario's and all.
Yeah.
You can't.
They know what to do with their IP, and that's why I'm not.
No, they know what to do with their bread and butter.
Right. Yeah.
They know what to do with their bread and butter. That's what they know how to do. And you leave Resident Evil 4 alone. Leon is by far the coolest guy running around that franchise.
I know, D. I mean,
Resident Evil 4 is great. It's just not great.
It was better on the PS2 though, because like they added.
Way better.
Oh, so your gripe isn't with the game; it's with the console.
It's with the Yeah. That's what I mean.
Cool. Well, I had to check y'all.
Oh wait, no, you ain't have to check me.
I don't watch you. I gotta keep an eye on you.
100% agree with you. I 100% agree.
Thanks, Trav, because this guy over here hating on One Piece. He's bringing up JoJo. I mean,
hey, well, JoJo just celebrated the 10-year anniversary.
What did One Piece celebrate?
I don't know.
Their first hiatus.
Right. He knows because he keep tabs. Hey, Trav, he keep tabs on One Piece.
Hey,
we
got
spies in the camp.
We gonna keep tabs on him.
Yeah, hey, make sure just like when you open up the tabs on the internet, just keep opening them up and just keep opening up the JoJo tab. So we're here at the end of the
interview. Make any sense, bro?
It did make any sense because it's a JoJo reference. So we're here at the end of the interview now. And Bell, at the end of every interview, D, he always has his final wrap-up questions that he loves to ask. And
send them my way.
Go ahead and take it away.
First off, you ever met a guy named Mike?
This is buckle up, Bell, because D is about to take you for a ride.
I take you for a ride. Hey. No. Okay, Bell. So first question: favorite 80s or 90s movie, or you could give us both if you want.
Oh, damn.
Yes.
I can't remember anything from the 80s or 90s.
Yes.
Oh, come on, bro. That hurts me.
Come on, Bell.
Don't say that.
Yeah, there's a lot of good movies.
Like come on.
Wait.
Banks, you might need to write on one of those notorious lists. They be having us come up with sometime.
We just told you we had the original Game Boy, and you talking about you don't remember nothing from the 80s, man.
Wait,
trying to hang
hang
on.
Wait, what Disney movies came out around the 90s and 80s?
Little Mermaid dropped 89. Little Mermaid 89.
Yeah, because they really got going in the 90s.
Lion King, Hercules, Aladdin.
Because really, they had a lot of live action stuff before in that time, right?
Did
like
Beauty
Rocketeer and all that stuff.
Did Beauty and the Beast come out around the 90s, or was that like
yeah, 91.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I will say Beauty and the Beast, definitely.
Phenomenal movie.
Beauty and the Beast, Tarzan. Let's see, what else? Oh, damn. I was going to say Monsters, Inc., but that's an early 2000s one.
I think Tarzan was in early 2000s too, right?
No, Tarzan's 90s.
Tarzan 90s.
99.
97, 99, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. How can I forget Mulan?
Oh, fire.
Mulan's a classic.
I think
everything he just named was fire.
Well, yeah,
I mean, Disney movies are a joke.
Yeah.
Well, it was Disney in the 90s, bro.
Disney was not taking L's back then. I mean, except for Pocahontas, though. That one was
the music's really good though. Still,
yeah, that music was good. The music's always good in the Disney.
It's just the story in that is just kind of lackluster. Nobody really cared.
Same thing like Hunchback of Notre Dame. Like when I was a kid, I wasn't a fan of it, but watching
that's just deceptively dark.
Yeah,
that movie is
fire.
dark.
That was a G-rated movie, and there was like,
people was
Frollo was just straight up murdering people.
They was throwing
he was
tomatoes
like,
at my man and
praying. Oh my god, what he
get upstairs.
Talking about how horny he is for
Esmeralda, with the fire,
right.
Hellfire. There's a song literally called Hellfire in the soundtrack. And
I know that song's so fire.
Hey, look,
it is.
Just,
so
hey, Belle, just make sure that you stay away from the Hunchback of Notre Dame too. Just make sure.
Oh yeah, I heard that one is.
Go ahead.
Hey, Jezebel.
It was funny.
If there's one like Disney sequel, like direct to DVD sequel that I do actually like, it's Cinderella 3, because that's like the one.
I heard that was a good movie.
Yeah, that's the one movie that like made.
Oh, there's a code on, bro.
I gotta ask, was Aladdin 2?
Is fire.
Was that straight to video? I was just about to ask.
Lion King 2?
No, Aladdin 2.
Yeah, they were all straight.
That was straight to video.
Yeah, but
like really good. That's why I asked.
Yeah, but Lion King 2 had that song Deception, and the zebras, they were angry. Like, come
Simba's
on, man.
pride, baby.
It's crazy because for Hunchback of Notre Dame 2, there's a trailer on YouTube, and I think it's Jennifer Love Hewitt that voices one of the characters in the movie. And she was just like, I highly recommend watching this movie. You and your family are going to love it. And somebody commented was just like, I wonder how much they paid her to say that. Because the movie...
Who's about to say that? What else would she say? I mean, come on. That's so funny.
Oh my god!
Somebody was sitting there with a gun and was just like,
Michael.
Oh my god!
It was Shanada.
Jennifer Love Hewitt. She voices Quasimodo's love interest in
that movie. Yes.
Oh, is she a Hunchback?
She said, "Yeah, you and your family are gonna love this movie. I highly recommend it." It's just like after watching it, like he didn't need a love interest, or
that's what I was gonna say.
He just needed friends, like
like people who loved him for who he was.
Outside of the gargoyle
in return. It's like that's wholesome. Like you don't really get to see that very often, where it's like you have a character who wants affection, but it's not a romantic affection. Like it's a platonic affection.
Right, Luca, baby.
So
Luca.
Here's a little headcanon. If I told you guys, hang on, Belle, you let us know that you're kind of limited on 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the original Black Christmas? Horror film. You should watch it. It's a cult classic.
Have you ever seen Pink Christmas?
Hey, that's
a real movie too.
Yeah, it is. No, but I was gonna say, I think that the murderer from Black Christmas and Quasimodo, I think they were based on the same person, kind of.
Oh, really?
They were both in the house the whole time, and just kidding.
Upstairs,
I wouldn't do that. Yeah, upstairs in the room.
No, I 100% agree with you, D. I mean,
it's kind of weird if you think about the two characters.
It's like a happenstance situation where it's like,
maybe.
Yeah, like they coincide with each other, and it's kind of creepy when you realize it.
You're gonna see that movie at some point in time. Somebody's gonna bring it up to you. You're gonna be, oh, this is the guy they were talking about. And you're gonna think about Quasimodo. Watch.
Stay away from
Quasimodo though. Like
just stay away from that sequel. Because I'm going to watch it when we get off tonight. See how bad
like I heard that sequel is ass. Like we do not talk about that.
With a capital A, with a capital A and two capital S.
Oh, speaking of ass sequels, did you ever see the Mulan sequel?
Oh, that movie's bad.
Of course.
I watched it. It was okay. It wasn't. It's better than it's better than Hunchback of Notre Dame too.
Well, you know what? Mulan 2 is way better, at least, than the live action version of Mulan. So.
I still haven't seen that.
It's not terrible, but it takes out basically everything that was fun about it. That's what it just makes it very serious.
It's just a gorgeous looking film. But
they said Mushu wasn't gonna be in it. I was like, Mushu and no singing. I was just like, and then you have people defending it, man. Oh, it's based on a real story and all this other stuff. And it's just like, so you telling me like the woman turning into an owl really happened? Like,
she was a sweet villain, but it just isn't the same thing.
Oh
Now,
my
if that were its
God.
own thing, I'd probably feel a little different about it because it was like they literally just took the fun out of it.
Yeah,
There's
you
no,
need a
All
Stevie
right.
Wonder in 98 Degrees there, man.
Yeah,
It's
there's
like,
no-
Like this is why I don't like these live
Christina
action
Aguilera,
adaptation
The Reflection.
Mulan got some of the best music. That shit.
yeah.
Take that out, it's just kind of like,
Bruh, man, Mulan did legit have some of the best
it
music.
did.
Oh, yeah.
It was fine.
It was a straight R&B.
I still
soundtrack.
listen to
It
that
was fire.
sound. Yeah, I still
Make a
listen to
man
that.
out of you, man.
Yeah,
You put
come
that
on.
on when you at the gym.
You just start running. That's what I do. It come on my playlist. I just go outside, start running.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
Hey,
Oh,
that
man,
dog will
Hercules.
be up in the tree looking
Man.
down.
Yeah, where is he?
Oh my God. Like Disney movies, they legit did not have any L's when it came to the soundtracks.
Uh-huh.
We didn't mention it yet, but that Aladdin, we're here. That Aladdin soundtrack.
Mm.
Hey,
Not that new one.
if you haven't seen
no.
Turning Red yet, I highly recommend.
Oh yeah,
watching.
that's another one.
Uh,
They're
that's
bringing
a-
it back now.
Hey, that's
Uh-huh.
Pixar though.
Yeah, you did it on your own. Nobody like you.
Come
Come on, man. You gotta sing the song. But yeah, D, go ahead with the second question.
Okay, here we go. Growing up, was there anything that really spooked you, scared you, and stayed with you? Whether it was a creepy melody from some movie or cartoon or character, horror movie villain. What you got?
Oh, I guess I gotta expose myself a little bit on this one.
Yes, I found his weakness. It is I, Mike.
Okay, then. Well, if I have to expose myself, then a few things that. Okay, well, have you ever played the game Sonic Adventure 2?
Oh, of
Yes.
course.
Mhm.
The ghosts in that game, oh my God, those scared the shit out of me. Like,
That's wild. I did not see this coming.
I love the answers from this question, guys. I must say.
bro, like when I saw the ghosts in that game, like those scared me to the point where I couldn't even play it. Like my older brother had to pretty much like finish Knuckles' levels like on my behalf. That's just, bro,
That is a wonderful answer.
that's just one. Mannequins bothered the hell out of me. It's like
Mannequins in the dark are pretty creepy, actually.
Yeah, especially in the Resident Evil game.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Or Halloween.
Like I'm fine in a distance, but like when you're up close, it feels like you're around people who can't move, and it's like
Uh-huh.
you'll never know if they're actually gonna come to life and like grab you, and it's like Jesus fucking Christ, like
Mhm.
like this faceless man, like you're mocking me.
Is that another 80s movie, Trav? The Mannequin?
I was about to say Mannequin is a
Uh-huh.
movie from the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
never been like something from a movie that scared me about mannequins. It's just like being around them. Just
Oh no, I think the one we're talking about is like a love kind of.
Yeah, he falls in love with a mannequin.
Yeah, and she turns back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
no.
a Cinderella kind of.
It's
okay.
This
it's
comic
crazy that you
Cinderella.
say that.
Well,
man.
you know, like she turns back into a mannequin. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Oh
I
my
mean,
It's
pretty
over.
god.
much. Yeah.
Wasn't that what was the movie with Tyra Banks when she was like a life size?
That's life size.
Yeah, I mean it's the same thing. I mean, like the dude fell in
Nah,
love with a
the
life
mannequin's
size.
not the same thing as life size. Me and D promise you, it is not.
Hey.
But I mean, I
cool.
know that people on TikTok are dressing up as mannequins and going in Targets, and then like
Oh, that's
Yeah.
that's gross.
yeah, people will walk by and then like they'll jump and like
Look, Belle's never gonna go into Target, so thanks, Banks.
Well, I'm
I
never
mean,
gonna stand near the mannequins and Target,
Yeah,
so it's like,
jeez.
hey, Bell
someone's
gonna be
getting
like,
punched. Someone's getting punched if you try that on me.
yeah, Bell
Oh,
gonna
we've
be
seen
at
it.
Target.
Oh,
He's gonna be
yeah.
like, I wonder what time it is, and then like the mannequin's gonna be like, I can tell you, and, like, yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
Oh my
Wonderful
god.
answers.
Yeah, wonderful answers.
I
So
like
yeah, so
that.
we're here at the end of the episode now. Belle, thank you so much for joining us up here on a new episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Before we let you go, let everybody in social media land know where they can find you at.
All right, brothers. So y'all can find me on Twitter at BelRusapeVO, and you can find me on my website, BelsheberRusapeJr.com, in case you ever want to hit me up for, just checking out my voiceover, or just like if you're interested in hiring me for anything, whether it's for, character designs, banner designs, and just voiceover. And if you just want to hit me up on my website or just DM me on Twitter. I'm always available. I got all my information all over the place. So you know where to find me.
Nice,
Hell
nice,
yeah.
nice. Yeah, thanks again, Bell, for coming up here. Trav, let everybody in social media land know where they can find you at.
Right, you know, you can find me on the Instagram at ZK Audio. I'm also on the Twitter as well at TRAVIOSZK, where I'm also on Letterboxd, ranking and rating my daily movie watches. My man D, they looking for the red hat.
The
Where they
red
gonna
hat.
find it?
You can find me as always at rebellious_D23 at Instagram.com. And Banks, as always, it's a little after 10. You got to get out on the streets. If they need a hero, where can they
Hold
find
on,
one?
this is a PG
I don't.
podcast.
Is that a Black
Hey.
Lightning reference, D?
Oh, gee, the street. Hey, it's for the street. See, you know.
Oh my God!
Over
You
there
can find-
looking like Jefferson.
Oh my God! Hey, Lynn about to come busting in the door, be like, "What are you doing? They came at me at my job today." They're like, "Huh? What the fuck?"
You gonna be sitting there like this.
Like, huh? Like, hey,
Nice.
oh my God. But yes, you can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you again for watching this interview. Belle, thank you so much again for joining us. Everybody that's watching, make sure to check out some more of our interviews. Make sure you check out our podcast where we have brand new episodes. The link is down below in the description. Make sure you check out the reviews, reaction videos, all that good stuff we have on the channel. Like I always say, keep that pinky up, stay positive. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.